What up, y'all? I am back again. Another 2 month hiatus. But nah, real talk. I'm gonna start this video off by saying and giving y'all a massive thank you for the support on that last video. We made it to 10K on a. That blew my expectations. I was just expecting maybe like 500 people to tap in, but 10,000 people seen it. I'm gonna just say thank y'all again. Like I don't even got no words to explain it, cause I could be honest with y'all. Posting your opinions to the internet is so terrifying these days because the binary that exists, there's like no space in between to have like a nuanced conversation. And like a whole bunch of backlash from like people who just didn't feel what I was saying because I seen it happen on TikTok. I seen it happen on Twitter. It's like the more you get a discussion, your numbers go up. But I was never doing it for that reason. Genuinely was like, yo, Basquiat a zombie. And I shared that opinion with y'all, and y'all rocked with it. It was only like one anti comment in the whole comments, only 3 dislikes. I'm like, wow, like people was feeling this, and it was a very affirming experience because once the comments of praise came in, and like I was like, wow, so I'm not tweaking. Other people see and they feeling the same thing I'm feeling. It felt real good. I'm gonna say thank y'all one more time because it really felt like I'm meant to thrive in this YouTube space as an artist for real. That was just one of the first informational videos, historical, etc, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna do more of those, but it take a lot of research. I did that. I redid that video 6 times. I made sure I misquoting nobody. It was legit because one wrong thing in the video could smoke the whole operation. One of the biggest complaints in the video, though, people were talking about my audio quality. I did it 5 times. I recorded off a voice recorder, a phone, and used some of just the camera audio because I was tweaking. I just had to get the video fast. It was like this massive feeling of if I don't post this video soon, somebody else is gonna post it. I've had a lot of my ideas in the past get posted before I did, so I was like, this video is gonna just have to, it's just gonna have to do, and I'll work on the production value. I'll work on my production value going forward. So again, shout out to y'all. You see, I even got a microphone this time, so the audio gonna be a little bit better. This video today is brought to you by myself. I ain't got no sponsors. Y'all thought I was gonna do one of those. Not gonna do one of those. But nah, look. So this video kind of unstructured. It's just about some stuff that I've been thinking about these past 60 days. I've noticed like a large increase of artists, specifically painters, bringing their talents to YouTube, and that is like potentially the best thing that could possibly happen for artists right now, especially with Instagram feeling like purgatory, Twitter feeling like the Las Vegas Strip. Just this general fatigue of just sharing art on the internet. It's almost humiliating. I feel like a humiliation king at the end of the day. Like you're posting your soul on a TL hoping that this is the one that's gonna get us out the trenches. The engagement show, maybe only 40 people saw it, and you know, like, wow, am I weak? Am I trash? Nah, people just not seeing it. Like people is genuinely not even on Instagram no more. And sometimes you could get shadow banned, especially for sharing political things. I'm always shadow banned. I don't use my story that much because they be suppressing me. For real. People is genuinely getting off of Instagram. You check those engagements, people is not seeing it. It's getting pushed down by the reels and whatnot. There's 100 million videos talking about that, but ultimately people are just getting off of Instagram. And then Twitter, we not even gonna talk about trying to be an artist on Twitter. Vegas Strip, Vices, FanDuel, OF, fight videos. It's just like the Las Vegas Strip. It's a mess. I think artists coming to YouTube is perfect because one, you get to control your own narrative, and what are you sharing on YouTube is it's like no gimmicks unless you get into some gimmicks. There's nothing wrong with gimmicks. I'm not a gimmicky type of dude, so I'm not really a fan of gimmicks. But it's not like Canvas reveals and that twirly foolishness that they do on IG reels. It's none of that. It's just really just posting the art. It's posting the process. It's posting how the art look. It's showing the spaces that you feel comfortable creating in. I think that's perfect for artists right now because I feel like me joining this space has given me another sense of autonomy with my work because it's kind of hard on YouTube to get that audience you're looking for. It's like a lot of trial and error, but on IG Reels and on TikTok and Twitter, if you use the hashtags or like, I call it like a gimmick template. It's like when it's, oh, show your artist, show yourself, the art, the artist. Like, I don't like stuff like that. You feel me? I just feel like if the best way to do that is via video. We get to hear how you talk. We get to see how you flow when you create. It's just kind of good to see the process. I know back in the day, artists were a little bit scared to show the process because they didn't want nobody stealing the flow. I get it. It's super crucial right now. That personality is going to sell way more. I'm not even talking about sell like get you profit. You know, you can get the profit if you want to. I'm not judging no capitalists, but people are tired of getting sold things. If you talk passionately about your art and show us how much you have fun doing your stuff and like sharing your inspo behind it, that's a better selling point than saying like, oh look, buy two prints and you get another one for 50% off. Like it just sounds better than that. But I know the inflation is beating us right now and we need the funds. But the second thing that is great about all the artists coming to YouTube is it shows ownership of the work in its rawest form. You know, it's pretty wild about now with the AI. The technology is like impressive now. Like impressive. Like I'm scared of it. Like they're fixing the eyes. You can usually tell when you look at an AI piece that the eyes are always dead. The mouth is kind of weird, and you know the hands used to be throwing up gang signs and stuff. They fixing that, and now the video is getting a little better too. There's no better time than now for artists to document. You don't have to document every creative thing that you do, but for the ones that you feel like are gonna quote unquote get you out the trenches, you gotta have proof that you made that. Just think about it. You post some art, somebody screenshots it, they put it into one of those. They put it into one of those machines, and it creates something that looks very similar to yours. The other person gets praised for it. You doing a smart thing and have footage of you creating that, now you have evidence that you were ripped off, that you were the creator of that style, look, whatever, that piece, whatever. If you don't got the proof, it's gonna be kind of hard defending that in the future. And the way that so much stuff is being co-opted and so much stuff is being put into these generators and whatnot, it's looking kind of scary on that end. So if you're making art that you're doing with your hands, let your hands show us you sculpting that thing, or let your hands show us you painting that portrait. You don't even have to post it to YouTube. Just keep it for yourself. And when it's time to showcase, you could just put that out as well. Back in 2022, I was in San Francisco walking with one of my friends who was also an artist, and we stopped past this dude who was like painting out of his car. He was painting some abstract stuff. Like it wasn't nothing too wild. It was just like abstract color. It was beautiful. And we were like, "Oh, you got nice art and everything." It was like one of those side quests on GTA when you talk to a random stranger and they just talk for 45 minutes. And he was talking about the importance of recording yourself looking at the camera while you were creating. And I was like, "Damn, that kind of just sounded like TikTok." But he was like talking about the fears of like automation and how AI models are getting stronger. And this was before AI was used in the way it is now. Like this is when the early Dolly AI eras, when it was just like a mouse. I think his name Mr. something, Mr. Chubbs or something like that. But like just like the fun, playful stuff. And he was saying this back then. And fast forward to 2024, then to 2025. I see what he was talking about. It's kind of easy to get sucked into the whole content thing, but like the art doesn't become content until you're using it as like a marketing tool, you know? I feel like that's one of the differences between art and content. Art stands as is, and content is like, you know, it's a promotional tool. The way that this technology is advancing so quickly feels like overnight almost. It's just gonna be real handy to have your proof and your schematics and your floor plans, whatever. I'm just using words for it. Just having that proof that you was the one that did it. It's gonna be real important. You know, get over that fear. Record. You can use your phone. Set up a tripod. Just don't see it as content. See it as documenting something for your own documentary in the future. If somebody asks you for some B-roll, if you making something, you know, just gotta have proof that you're the one that's making it. Another thing that like has been on my mind a little recently is how it kind of feels like people don't really have that much money to spend on art as they did these past 3 years. Gotta change the mic. I'm not used to holding this. Yeah, having your art, it just seems like the art money is it's kind of dry right now. You know, inflation is up. They using that money for blah 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 blah. You feel me? So like, don't get discouraged if you're not making no sales. If you're a full time artist and that's how you paying rent, I get why you could be anxious. But like for those who are looking to monetize it, like try not to monetize it right now because people are really short on money. And I'm saying this because just last year people bought paintings for me, and like this year I haven't sold a single painting. And I'm not salty about not selling no painting. You feel me? Like I'm okay. I do need a job, but I haven't sold no pieces, and I just couldn't imagine trying to live off the creativity right now. And like I just saw an article from the New York Times that said there was like artists in 2021 compared to 2024. Like the art value has decreased so much that they've lost like I think $720 million. I could link to the New York Times article that I read that in, but like watching that, not watching it, but reading that article was like very terrifying. But like at the same time, it just goes to show to the state of the world. The artists, it's we know that we low key fighting with these robots. Even when you get on Pinterest right now, Pinterest is the last frontier to like get this AI slop. And specifically me, this is a channel dedicated to black art. But when I type in black art on Pinterest, it shows me the most generic black motifs, but created by AI. You type in black art on Pinterest, what do you think gonna pop up? It's gonna take me to Etsy. It's gonna take me to one of those sites that you could sell prints, and it's always a damn jazz ensemble motif. Like I love jazz, I love black people, but like it's kind of a tired motif a little bit. But the people who are creating those pieces, even if it's not even a person, whoever creating those pieces, just have this idea of black art just being jazz and music, and Pinterest is like populated with those same old motifs or like a picture of like a black couple created with AI. It's like the safest non-original motifs, and that is the type of like stuff that we're combating. And if you're an artist and your piece makes like, you sell something for 2K, but like somebody selling like a knockoff of your work, somebody selling a knockoff of your work on Pinterest, or not Pinterest, on Etsy or one of these sites using AI, the fingers messed up, there's not even like a definitive face in there, and they selling it for $25, you'll be mad. You're gonna be mad as hell. So to say that we don't have nothing to worry about, I think it's a little bit of a lie. But combined with the art market like flopping a little bit right now, the AI getting a little bit stronger, it's kind of interesting to be an artist right now, especially if you're an artist that's trying to make funds. But like if you're still in a hobby space, documenting, that's gonna be fun. You're not worried about nothing. You feel me? The biggest privilege I've had as an artist these past 4 years, even on my photography side, well, I've been using photography, but that's just me being vulnerable. Just me being vulnerable. But but look, specifically with the painting, since I haven't had to like focus on selling, I'm able to still like create without any pressure. But it kind of feels like for those who is creating it, AI is creating a lot of pressure. Unless they opt in, they start making AI prints too. Easy bag, passive income. Woo woo. You feel me? Like no judgment. Do what you gotta do. But it's like it's connected a little bit. These companies, they think they slick. They art budget is going down, and it's okay. They gotta stop pretending that we can't tell that it's AI. You feel me? Like if you selling us soulless imagery, now we know your product is soulless too, and I just can't get behind that. But the way that we have multimillionaires, billionaires, and presidential candidates, if you know who I'm talking about, we not saying no names because y'all know these platforms be kind of tricky when you say stuff like that. They using AI to slander people, to slander the opposition on a platform where they're reaching millions. Talking about like 48 million people seeing these things, and it's just AI slop. It's just AI slop everywhere. The Drake thing and like was one of the diss tracks AI. Just AI becoming so mainstream and just ingrained with like pop culture like that is kind of scary. And arts always suffer the most. We always suffer first. So that is like, I get why it's so terrifying if using creativity is like your livelihood. I know like I'm just rambling and just saying random stuff. Like I'm just talking. Um to just still at the end of the day, like just still make what you want to make and try to maintain having fun with it. If you gotta do what you gotta do, and hit one of those turning around poses with the canvas that we see on Instagram reels, or you have to participate in the artist the face threads on Twitter, you know what, do what you gotta do. But like social media doesn't really feel like the place to keep trying to keep up with the art world. You gotta branch out, take it to the real world. YouTube kind of feels like the realest platform for artists right now. Yeah, it's just time that more artists just jump over here. Pretty much, if you're trying to combat this AI apocalypse, shout out to Terminator, but please just document your work. Please document your experiences. Please, I'm gonna get a little sentimental. Please print out those pictures you got of your family, because like archives are being destroyed. Journalism articles from the early 2000s don't exist anymore. Like things like mixtapes, anything that is online is not gonna be there forever. It is what it is. But But no, real talk. Archives are at risk right now. Show your art in the real world. Get footage of you making the art. Like you just really just need the proof that you're the soul behind the creativity. Let's just do a better job at like leaving the digital world a little bit. Cause Twitter could go down, Instagram can go down. If you're an artist, painter, looking at this for some inspo, just start documenting your process and post it on one of these video programs. And I don't think YouTube is one of them places that can just magically just disappear overnight like that. It doesn't seem like it because there's still videos from like 2006, 7, 8 on here. Can't say the same for Instagram. I mean, it's still there, but do we really trust the app that's down like once a month? Do we really trust an app like Twitter that can be sold to a billionaire and they could like craft it to the way they want to? The same thing can happen with YouTube, but it's like it's less likely to happen here. Yeah, please just take the time, document your art, archive it. Don't give in to AI. We gotta fight the power. Fight the power that be. I'm trolling, but yeah, that was my little spiel with the video. Again, thank y'all for the support. I got some other videos coming out soon. I'm not gonna make y'all wait 2 months like I just did. So yeah, it's Paige and Main, and I'll see y'all again real soon.